Hello everyone, good morning, good evening, based on your time zone. So today, welcome to a new session. Uh, it is your channel Cloud Developer. So today we are going to do a live demo how to use the new external client app, which is the replacement of connected app. You know that going forward, connected app is no longer supported, or I can say that Salesforce will not allow you to create connected app using Salesforce UI, setup menu UI. It will not allow you to create. So that means the future is external client app. So today we'll see how using external connected app we can connect two different Salesforce org. But this demo will cover two different Salesforce org, but it may not be two different Salesforce org in real time. It can be any other OAuth 2.0 provider. For example, LinkedIn. For example, your Facebook. For example, SAP. For example, Java. It can be anything, any application. Okay. So if you can see my screen, uh, what are the steps we'll do in this demo. Okay, so I have two Salesforce org. In the left hand side you can see source org, in the right hand side target org. The external client app will create in target org. Okay, then we'll generate the client ID and client secret, because for the external client app should be always where the inbound call is happening. Inbound means this target org is the inbound call receiver. Okay, so then we'll set up the callback URL. Callback URL means when the source org try to connect with this org or authenticate with this org, then where it will redirect to. Okay, in the source org side, source org is the outbound connection. Okay, that means it will make a call to the target org. Okay, so create auth provider. We'll do first, we'll create a auth provider, then we'll create an external credential. Okay, then we'll create a named credential, then we'll create a principal, then we'll assign permission set or profile to access this connected or sorry, named credential. Okay, this is how we'll proceed with our demo. Any question you have in your mind while watching this video, so do a pause, carefully watch every steps so that you will not miss any steps. If you will miss any steps, it will become a problem for you and the integration will not work. So carefully watch every single steps and up to the end. That is what. Okay, and if you have any doubt, you can put a comment. I'll see if I can respond. I try to respond it. uh, Before we start, I would request one thing. Please support this channel by subscribing, like, comment, share, whatever possible ways you can support. Um, One more thing I wanted to tell you, in this generative AI, I have suggestion for those youngsters who are below 5 year experience. Please do coding practice. Please do hands-on practice. Otherwise, the time is difficult. Uh, I mean, for the beginner programmers, this time is top class. So you have to present yourself as an experienced developer, even though you are below 5 year experience. Okay, the time is also difficult for us, like me, 15 year plus experience. Okay, so we have given our half of the life to the company, but now companies are throwing us like garbage bag. Okay, so we also need some kind of source of income some ways, like YouTube, or some of my friends, they are now in live tutorials in coaching center and all those things. Okay, but to be honest with you, it's a hard time for all of us. We need to do more and more hands-on practice. Okay, let's back to the practical example here to my screen. If you'll see the first tab you see here, this URL is org farm URL is our target org. So I'll move it to right hand side. Okay, and sorry, no, this tracking app will be our source org. Okay, from here we'll make a call to the target org. Okay, and this org farm URL is the target org, and this is our source org. Tracking app is our source org. Okay, so we'll see in the screenshot what are all those things we'll do. First we'll set up the target org. First we'll create the external client app. Okay, so now go to the target org. Target org is our org form. So I am repeating it so that you will not forget what is target org and what is source org. Okay, so carefully set up the things. Whatever the things are supposed to be set up in target org and whatever the things are supposed to be set up in source org. Okay, so in the target org we will see here from the image, create external client app. Okay, we will do here and create a external client app. Okay, click setup. Okay, so what I'll do here, in the setup, search for app manager. Okay, now click on new external client app. So here you can give any name, but I am giving a meaningful name like target SF, target SF, Salesforce org, and I am giving an extension called EC external client app. Okay, that's all. Okay, contact email ID you can give your email ID also, whatever. No other, all are fine. Okay, auth settings. Okay, here we'll enable auth. Okay, callback URL for now, set up https:// localhost, but we'll change this URL later. Okay, and this is very important, auth scope. Okay, so we need basically these two scope, API and refresh token, this one. Okay, but generally in practical life you will do these two things, but if you, let's say, full access to the org, anything you can do, so you can also add this full access. Okay, so that's all. Here enable this one, client credential flow. Okay, that's all, I think. Okay, just create it. Okay, now we'll go to this setting, auth policy. Just check this auth policy and all those things are fine, no problem. Now click on this settings. Okay, and here auth settings. So in this auth setting, like connected app, we'll also have the client ID and client secret in this example. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll click on this consumer key and consumer secret. So what changes I have seen from the connected app to this external client app. So in connected app, when you click show client secret or client ID, it used to show without any authentication or next level of authentication. But here, if you click consumer key and consumer secret, you see it's asking you, to authenticate it. Okay. Okay. Now we have given the code. Now you can see the client ID and the client secret is here. So you see the step number 1 is complete. External client app is complete, and generate client ID and client secret is also complete. So now this setup callback URL will do later. Okay, so what we'll do now, create the auth provider in the source org. Okay, now go to the source org. Here in the setup, search for OAuth provider. Okay, in the auth provider, you create a auth provider. Okay, so in this thing, you see there are so many auth providers like Google, GitHub, okay, LinkedIn, even any OpenID, any auth 2.0 providers. Okay, you can do, including Twitter and all. But in this case, I'll try to create video if possible with LinkedIn or Twitter. Okay, later. But now we'll move with Salesforce because we do not have any other org. So what I'll say, it is I'll say target. No, target we have already. This is source SF. Okay, I'll say auth. Okay, so that's all. Consumer key and consumer secret, these two things will use for handshaking with the target org. So these two things we will copy from the target org. Target org, let's copy consumer key and put it here, and consumer secret, uh, put it here. Okay, so this endpoint URL automatically it is populated, so leave it as it is. Nothing we have to do it here. So just save it, that's all. Okay, now you see our auth provider setup is done. So what we'll do in the auth provider, you just scroll down a little bit. Wherever you find Salesforce configuration, there you will find a callback URL. Copy that URL. Okay, callback URL. Now click on the target org, where I told you we will set up the callback URL later, right? This one. So what we'll do, we'll click on edit here, and we'll change this localhost to this callback URL. Okay, now click on save. Okay, so as you have seen from the image here, so this step is done. Generate client ID and client secret is done. Setup callback URL is done. Create auth provider is done. Okay, the next step is create external credential. Okay, this one. So external credential, where we'll create source org. Okay, so now move back to the source org. Here you search for external credential. Okay, otherwise you search with named credential. Okay, it is inside named credential. Click on named credential. Now this one will create external credential. If you will see in the image here, this is create external credential. Okay, middle one. So here middle one will go and create an external credential. We'll create new, we'll say okay, target one thing we'll do, target not target, we'll see source external credential. Okay, EC. Okay, now name it, just provide the same name as it is. Okay, now authentication protocol, you see OAuth 2.0. Okay, now authentication flow, browser flow. Yeah, in scope, if you remember, we have provided 3 scope here in the external client app. One is API, one is full, another is refresh token, refresh underscore token. 3 things we will provide. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll say API is our first one, space, okay, then full, space, refresh underscore token. Okay, this one we will copy. Okay, and save it. No, we'll do little later. First select here auth provider, this one source SF. Okay, then nothing else, just save it. Okay, now these 3 things you copy and go to the target org. In the target org scope also there is a scope. No, not target org, it should be in the auth provider. Sorry, go to the auth provider, because it should sync, otherwise it may create some issue. Okay, while doing the authentication. In the scope, in the default scope here, parameter, default scope parameter, you put these 3 things. Okay, API, full, refresh token. Okay, save this. Okay, now our again click on the name credential. This one is done. In this step, this one is done. Okay, this external credential steps is done. Now we'll create named credential. Okay, named credential. In the same named credential, just create a new, say source. Why I am putting NC? So that I can easily identify it is a name credential. Okay, so URL, this is very important. Okay, this URL will be your target org URL. So what you'll do in the target org, click on my domain. My domain, here you copy your target org URL, because this is where you wanted to call or you wanted to make your call. Okay, you put https:// okay, that's all. Enable call out external credential. This one we will select which one we have created. Source EC. EC, easily I can identify this is a external credential. Okay, so now just first one is fine. Generate authorization header, nothing else. Click on save. Now this step is also done. This step. Okay, now we'll create principal. Okay, so this principal is our real authentication. So again click on the named credential. Now principal will be always set up in external credential. Okay, external credential, source EC. EC stands for external credential. Now here you come here, and here is a principal. Okay, this one we will do. Click new, and you say that source underscore P. P stands for principal. Okay, identity type, you say named principal. Okay, scope, here again that same API full and refresh underscore token. Okay, click on save. Now you see here principal is now done. In principal, in the action menu here in the drop down, you see there is a authenticate option. Okay, so click on that authenticate so that it will authenticate to the target org. Okay, now it is which Salesforce org you will authenticate, the target Salesforce org. Okay, target Salesforce org is this. So now it is asking all the things what we asked for, because we asked for full, so all the full list of access it is asking. Okay, if it is not full, it will not ask you, or if you want to specifically provide some access, you can also do that. Okay, click allow, click confirm. So now you come here and you say, you see in source it's saying configured. Okay, that means the setup is done. This step is also done. Okay, now we need one more step, this permission to named credential. This is very important. Okay, so permission, how you can provide in two ways, either using the profile or using the permission set. Okay, for simplicity I am providing it using profile, but you can do the same thing using permission set. Okay, click on in the source org, click on settings, or you can go to directly your profile. Okay, advanced user details. Okay, now click on your profile. That means the target is to go up to your profile. Okay, in profile you will see an option like this: enable external credential principal access. Enable external credential principal access. This is what we want to provide access. Okay, click edit, and this is what our EC. You remember source EC, external credential, just provide access. Some other access was already there, you just ignore that. Okay, this is what our access. Click on save. Okay, that means all the steps we have completed. Whatever all here, 5, here 3, total 8 steps we have completed, but ninth steps I have not written, because that is your actual call you want to make and test whether the API is working or not. For that, what I have done, I have in the source org, okay, open the developer console. I have already created a class because it will take time to create the class from the scratch. So I have already created. I'll just explain the code here. Okay, open here, search for external client app demo, this one. Okay, so in this one, what I am trying to do here is I have just created a very simple get last 10 contacts, or you can say last last 5 contacts or whatever. Okay, get latest contact. I will say latest contact. Okay, so in this latest contact, I have just simply created a query, but always when you create a query, encode it. Okay, otherwise it may have some special character, it will create some issue. Okay, encode it, your string, using this encode utility. Okay, this is a standard function provided by Salesforce. I'll say, okay, last 2 or 1 contact I wanted to retrieve. Okay, but any query you can add, any dynamic query also you can add here. Okay, that is fine. Then the normal REST call you wanted to make, like HTTP request. Here is the catch. This set endpoint. In this set endpoint, here you will change it to source. Source NC. You remember we have created a named credential called source NC, right? So this source NC is our named credential. So how can we see what is the name of our named credential? Just click here in the source org, named credential. Sorry, we have to go to setup, not here. Here in named credential, you see there is a named credential, source NC. Okay, never use the label, always use the API name, source NC. Okay, this is what we are using, that is the catch. Okay, and this is fixed. So this is fixed in the sense which API you are calling, that relative URL. If you are calling a custom API, it will be something like /apex something. Okay, this is a standard API query call, so it is normally like that. And the query is here, what query we wanted to execute. And the method type is get. So set header content type application /json. If the status code is 200, that means our call is successful. So what we are doing, we are just printing it in a debug log. That's all. If the status code is failed, it will throw a error code. Okay, so now let's try it. Okay, so you can try it using LWC component, you can try it using your Apex class, flow or controller class, like that. Okay, even using trigger. When you are using trigger, you have to use it in a future method. Okay, otherwise it will not work because it is a call out. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll first test it using the anonymous window. In the anonymous window, just remove everything, put it like get latest contacts. Okay, so now execute it and see. You see this response is coming here. The status code is 200. You see the status code is 200. That means the authentication is successful. The response is also coming. It's a little difficult to see because it is a debug log. It is truncating, okay? But at least you can see the ID over here, the contact ID. The name is David, the last name is Wilson, the email ID is also given. This contact we try to retrieve and we'll check whether this contact exists in our target org or not. Okay. You see in the detail page this contact we are getting. As we said, last 2 contact, last 5 contact, or any other condition, let's say city from Bangalore or something like that, you can do. So this is how you can set up your integration using the new external client app. I hope you would have understood this session, how to use the new external client app. Please do a hands-on practice, okay? Please support this channel, subscribe, like, share with your friends, okay? So that's how we get motivated to create more videos, because I may share this video or I may create this video for a half an hour or so, but behind the scene lot of planning I used to do to prepare this video, how to demonstrate, so that you can understand. Okay, thank you so much. Thanks for your time. We'll see you in another video.